Hello students, welcome to this online course of hydraulics engineering. So till now we have completed the gradually varied flow. Now before moving to the rapidly varied flow or the hydraulic jump topic, let us try to understand the one dimensional analysis of open channel flow. Because in the practically in real situation the flow is very complex. So to analyze that flow into 3D will be more complex. So to reduce this complexity or to make the analysis simple, what we have done, we will idealize the flow as one dimensional flow, and after analyzing it we can interpret various data. So let us try to understand what is the one dimensional method for of flow analysis. So the flow properties such as velocity and pressure gradient in a open in general open flow situation can be expected to have components in longitudinal as well as in normal direction. Okay, so this is your open channel. So this direction inside the plane will be your longitudinal direction, and this will be the normal direction. Now the analysis of such three-dimensional problem is very complex. So to analyze this kind of situation is very complex. Okay, so that's why for the purpose of obtaining engineering solution, a majority of open channel flow problems are analyzed by one dimensional analysis, where only the mean or representative property of a cross section are considered and their variation in the longitudinal direction is analyzed. So what we are going to do, like the currents which are not normal, they will have very less impact on the flow. So if there are, if let us say the 100 out of 100 only 2 or 2 to 5% variation will be due to them, so what we can do, we can neglect them. Or if their effect is more, we can take the weighted average and obtain a representative quantity, so that we can replace all the parameters by that representative quantity, and after the value we can analyze the other parameters. Okay, so only one dimensional analysis, or only one dimension, or only one parameter out of all the parameters, one representative parameters we are going to treat. So this method, when properly used, not only simplifies the problem but also give meaningful results. So it is simple also, and it will produce a meaningful result. So regarding velocity, a mean velocity for the entire cross section is defined on the basis of the longitudinal component of the velocity v. So the mean velocity which we use very frequently is not the actual velocity. Okay, it is a representative quantity for the velocity variation. This you must have studied in your fluid mechanics. So how we can replace the velocity? So this is the real velocity, small v. Okay, so if in a pipe it is like this, so flow, this is your pipe. Okay, so at any section this is your maximum v max, like that. So what we can do, we can replace this velocity by a mean velocity. So this is your capital V, this is the variation of v. So this is how they can be related. Okay, so the mean velocity is 1 by a. We are taking the average of, what we are going to do, we will take the integration of this quantity and divide this by a. So this is nothing but the mean velocity. Okay, so this is the velocity. Now two more parameters are very important. One is alpha and second is beta. So alpha is the kinetic energy factor and beta will be the momentum correction factor. Okay, so these two parameters we have to discuss. Now the discharge past the section can be expressed as how we can express. So V was 1 by A integral V dA. V into A is what? If we multiply these quantities, we will get the discharge. So integral V into dA or V into A. So the following important specific to one dimensional open channel flow are to be noted. A single elevation represents the water surface perpendicular to the flow, and velocities in the direction other than direction of the main axis of flow are not considered. So only longitudinal velocities will be considered, and a single elevation represents the water surface perpendicular to the flow. So if it is given as 5 meters, so 5 meters perpendicular to the flow will be the surface of water is existing. Okay, so now let us see the kinetic energy, how this will affect the kinetic energy. So the flux of kinetic energy flowing past a section can also be expressed in terms of V. Actually, what will be the kinetic energy? It will be in terms of V, but we are assuming, or we are dealing in terms of capital V, that is the mean velocity. So let us see how this will impact, or what are the factors coming into picture. So the kinetic energy flowing past a section can also be expressed in terms of mean velocity, capital V. But in this case, a correction factor alpha will be needed as the kinetic energy per unit weight, that is mean velocity square by 2g will not be the same as v square by 2g averaged over the cross section. So you have to understand, actual kinetic energy will be in terms of v, but we are converting it into mean velocity. So it will the head given by this velocity and the head given by mean velocity will not be same. So we have to apply a correction factor. So that correction factor is nothing but the alpha, that is kinetic energy correction factor. But how to calculate that we are going to see. Now the expression of alpha can be obtained as follows. So let us see how we are going to calculate it. So for an elemental area dA, the flux of kinetic energy through it is equal to how much? Mass into v square. So this is mass, density into area. Actually this is flux, so this will be m dot. M dot means mass per unit time. So if we calculate the dimension of this quantity rho v dA, it will come as kg per second, and multiply with the velocity square by 2. So half mv square is the half mv square is your kinetic energy, but here the flux we are calculating, so it will be mass m dot. Flux will be always per unit time rate. Okay, so rho v dA into v square by 2. For the total kinetic energy flux, so total kinetic energy flux will be rho by 2 v cube by a, but it will be multiplied by alpha because this is not the correct one. So the alpha will be applied to the incorrect one. So correct is going to come from this value, that will be integral of. So this we have simplified, rho by 2 v cube into dA. It will be equal to half alpha into rho by 2 mean velocity cube into a. So just take the ratio, we will get alpha as integral the original velocity cube dA by mean velocity cube into a. So alpha is known as the kinetic energy factor, and it is equal to or greater than unity. It will alpha is always greater than equal to unity. Okay, if v, whatever v we are taking is equal to the mean velocity, then it will be 1, and otherwise it will be greater than 1. So the kinetic energy per unit weight of the fluid can be written as, how we can write it? Alpha times the mean velocity square by 2g. Okay, so this is the case of alpha, that is the kinetic energy correction factor. Now let us see about the momentum, how momentum will be there. So similarly, the flux of momentum at the section is also expressed in terms of mean velocity and a correction factor beta, and expression for beta can be obtained as follows. So the momentum flux will be, what is momentum? Mass into v. Okay, but here flux is there, so m dot. So m dot is rho a into, sorry, this is v, rho v into dA into v. So for total area it will be rho v square dA, and it will be equal to beta times rho mean velocity square into day. Just take the average. So you can see alpha was v cube dA by v cube into a, and beta is v square. So beta is known as momentum correction factor and is equal to or greater than unity. It is also equal to and greater than unity. Okay, now let us see the values of alpha and beta. So the coefficient alpha and beta are both unity in case of uniform velocity distribution. If the velocity is uniform, it is not changing, so something like this, then alpha, beta, everything is going to be 1. For any other velocity, alpha will always be greater to beta and they will be greater than 1. Okay, something like this. So the higher the non-uniformity of the velocity distribution, the greater will be the values of the coefficient. So if it is very much like haphazard kind of velocity, it is varying like enormously, then it will be, the values will be very high. And if they are closer to uniformity, the values will be less, or they will be around equal to 1. Generally, large and deep channels of regular cross section with fairly straight alignments exhibit lower values of the coefficient, and on contrary to this, small channels with irregular cross section contribute to larger values of alpha and beta. So this is quite evident. Okay. Now generally one can assume alpha is equal to beta is equal to 1 when the channels are straight, prismatic and uniform flow or gradually varied flow is taking place. So this is quite obvious because the uniformity is, there is the uniformity, so for uniform channels or the flow, alpha beta will be 1. In local phenomena, it is desirable to include estimated values of these coefficient in the analysis. So this table is given you. If in the question it is not given, so depending upon the channel type, we can have the various values of alpha and beta. Ranges and average both are given in this table. It is usual practice to assume alpha beta is equal to 1 when no other specific information about the coefficients are available. So if nothing is mentioned in the question regarding coefficients, what we are going to do, we will simply take alpha beta is equal to 1. Most of the cases you will see, unless until it is mentioned, we will use the alpha beta as 1. Now let us see how we can use the questions. In the questions, how the questions can be asked related to this topic. So the velocity distribution in a rectangular channel, width b and the depth of flow y0 channel is something like this. This is your y0 and this is your b. Okay. Velocity is approximated at k1 root y, in which k1 is a constant. Calculate the average velocity for the cross section and correction coefficient of alpha and beta. So what was the velocity? Mean velocity is nothing but v into dA divided by a. So a is nothing but v into y0, and for a constant width we can take a small dA. dA will be what? v into dy. So let us see how we are going to do that. So the area of cross section v into y0, average velocity is nothing but 2 by 3 k1 root y0. Just take the, this is the whatever I have told you, v will get cancelled out, only y will remain same. 0 to y0 we have to integrate. The integration will come something like this, 2 by 3 k1 root y0. Now the kinetic energy correction factor what? v cube dA by the mean velocity cube by into a. Put all the values here, you will get alpha is 1.35. Similarly, momentum correction factor what? v is here, v is given, put all the values, we will get 1.125. So alpha was 1.35, so you can see alpha is greater than beta and they are greater than 1. So in this case, So in this type we can take the, you can get the questions depending upon this topic. So this is all for today. Thank you.